Hi, everybody. This is Joy Packard. It is a Wednesday. It's the evening, and we have our final speaker for our live event happening in Houston next weekend, Friday and Saturday, April 27th and 28th, right here in the Houston Sugar Land area. We're super excited. I did count my speakers this time. I always say 21, 22. It is 21 speakers. And we were able to catch some of the ones to fill in the gaps that I needed help with. They magically come up. You know, that's kind of what happens. It's such a blessing. It's an honor. And I'm so humbled to have these amazing speakers come to speak to you guys on stage. And so we have put together this awesome event for you guys. Like I keep saying, you know, this is a hotel that has free internet, free Wi-Fi, free parking, free hot breakfast. You know, it's got 2 airports that you can fly into. We have experts in every single category that you can imagine. And so tonight we have a very special guest. You know, he is coming up on here. He has his own event coming up this weekend, the Amazon Legends Conference in Nashville that I was actually supposed to go to, but we're waiting on grandbaby number 9 any day now. So I'm staying in Houston. And so he's a busy man, but he's taken the time out to you know, come on here tonight to share some tips and some value with you guys and give you a little bit of a teaser of what he'll be speaking about on stage next week. And we are so honored to have him. I met Danny, probably was it last summer that I spoke at an event in Dallas, and he is the real deal, guys. You know, there's not very many people that make it to this level, and they actually still answer your questions on your messenger. He's awesome. My daughter was my prep and ship company for the last 3 or 4 years of my business with Amazon. Well, she's retiring because her husband got a job. She wants to be a mama. And so I thought about who I can, you know, trust this it's very hard for me to give up to people who I'm just, you know, worry about. And I'm so thankful I've been able to find an awesome prep and ship company. Pro Prep and Fulfillment is Danny's prep center. Amazing. If you are in his Amazon Legends group, and I'll let him talk about all this in a second, but he has so many amazing things happening, and he's willing to help you guys. He's there. He's real. He gives so much value. I went to China a few weeks ago, and I had 2 or 3 ladies in my group that are in his group, and they just ooh and awed about Danny Stock. And I'm like, I'm right there with you. We all love him to death. He's just, you know, there's not very many people out there that I can honestly say that to. So before I bring him on, I just wanted to say that, you know, these people that I bring on that are coming to this event to speak at the Simplezonseller conference, they are handpicked, and they are all, you know, giving, serving, willing to help you. They don't hold things back and hold it all together just for themselves. And so we're very blessed to have them. So without any further ado, I wanted to introduce you guys to the amazing Danny Stock. And he is, like I say, taking time out of his busy schedule. His event is happening in a few days, and he's taken the time out to be with us. So Danny, we're so thankful that you're blessing us with your time. And we wanted to let you, you know, maybe introduce yourself. There's some people who know you, some who don't, maybe who you are, what you're up to, and then a little teaser of what you're going to be speaking at on stage next week in Houston.
Sure. I appreciate the introduction. Very generous there, Joy. But actually started selling in 2001 on eBay, and about 4.5 years ago, started selling on Amazon, and I found it out of necessity. I think you should know this because Joy was actually a mentor of mine, and she didn't even know it. I was in the first iteration of the proven private label, which is called now Ryan Rieger's group. Joy was one of the people, the experts within the group, and I was like, and she had a picture of her warehouse, and the boxes were stacked way up high, and I remember that. I was like, wow, I want to do that someday. I had just got started, and so I've told her this before. I wanted to let her know that Ryan and her were actually the first 2 people I really ran across in the Facebook community that were doing Amazon, and they became kind of my mentors. I read everything that they were doing. Ryan's, you know, going to do furniture and doing all that stuff. Read his his whole story about that, and he kept talking about Joy. And I said, that's what I want to do. I want to do private label, have my own warehouse. And 4 years later, that's exactly what we're doing. So just so you know that it's very, very possible. And the one thing that a year ago when Joy was at the Legends Conference in Dallas, we were talking in the back with some people about outsourcing. And I at the time only had just one VA, and Joy was talking about, just got all these VAs, and one's doing this, one's doing that. I was like, wow, I need to do that. And because of that conversation, I went home and kind of thought about, kind of came up with a game plan. To this day, right, we have 10 VAs who work nonstop for us. They do a variety of tasks, revenue generating tasks and non-revenue generating tasks, but they free up our time, and at the time that helps me run 4, 5 different e-commerce businesses now. And I really don't spend that much time doing that much. I mean, I sit here, that's why I'm able to sit here and answer questions, because all that stuff is always being taken care of in the background while I'm sleeping or while I'm awake. And so that she just inspired me to do that. So, because I really wanted to spend more time with my family, and that's the most important thing to me. And so, that's kind of where I started and where I am now. So we do everything from, we have the Amazon Legends group, of course. It's affiliated with Jim Cockrum now. We also, our prep center, Pro Prep and Fulfillment, is one of just 2, maybe 3 Jim Cockrum approved prep centers. So we have software that automates the whole prep process, so which is kind of cool. Most of them don't do that. And we have a new print on demand program that just came out, Millionaire Seller, and that just launched. So if you do merch and you hate the restrictions of design uploads, we've removed all that for you, so you still get the same benefits of Amazon merch. Amazon merch is a beautiful business model, but the platform itself, in my opinion, is flawed, because they do have all these restrictions. They only have 4 different choices in garments, where we offer dozens and dozens of garments with the same services Amazon provides. So anyway, and way I got started on Amazon was doing retail arbitrage, and I focused on that for probably close to 3 years, laser-like focus on that. I didn't do anything else, and it was mostly because I felt myself at times having that shiny object syndrome, where you want to chase this and that. So I kind of just turned off most things, all the distractions that I could. And so I decided just to focus in on retail arbitrage. I'm glad I did, because if it wasn't for that becoming, really good at it, I just kind of had a knack for it. I was definitely, definitely blessed with some talents with numbers and remembering things and just obscure information, that help give you a little bit of an edge with retail arbitrage. So, and I was able to, because of that, go and teach other people how to do it. And that's how the Amazon Legends group started off, was just retail arbitrage. I never thought it would be where it is today, where the most recent topic is, private label, wholesale, working with manufacturers, something that we do heavily right now, working directly with manufacturers in the U.S. to do private label, wholesale, and exclusives all in one package. So you can do all 3 of those things if you work with a manufacturer. So, that's something we talk about. We have lots of software programs that are free, and getting ready to launch a bunch of new stuff. But the way I do retail arbitrage, which I'll be talking about at the conference, is when I was started this, I was working with a family contracting business. So we traveled a lot, worked very long hours. And I was probably, between the Amazon business and that, 2 years straight, I think we were tallied it up. It was like 70 hours a week for 2 years straight, pretty much. So between coming home and packing up stuff and then working the family business. So I was trying to get to a state where I could, kind of phase myself out of the family business. And luckily, my dad, definitely my role model, he said that, you know what, Danny, he's like, you're really good at this thing. I want you to have an opportunity to go after it. So you kind of let me go. And it was kind of a relief, honestly. I was ready to go. and go off. And as soon as I did, it just blew up. So, but because I was so busy, I decided, I got to source in a smart way. A lot of what I read, people told you just to scan everything. And I was very turned off by that. I felt like that wasn't really using my whole brain, So instead of scanning things, I just started typing in stuff. And then I started just, when the visual scan came out with the Amazon Seller app, I used that very heavily. But I started just, instead of scanning everything, I would just type stuff in. I do a quick 30,000 foot overview of a product or a brand. Looks good, then you can narrow down really quickly, cut down your sourcing time by, I don't even know. I usually would just shop on my lunch hour, so it was only an hour, and was able to, over time, build up a nice list of replenishable items that you could just go and buy and very quickly. And anything else you found that was clearance or really good product, that's just gravy. I wasn't relying on that, and it was kind of made retail arbitrage more of a sustainable business and a very profitable one at that. And so the first full year we did it, and this is very, very part-time. We sold 384,000, something like that. But the important thing is we netted like 27%, which is very high after all expenses. So, that's just goes to show you how profitable retail arbitrage can be if done in a smart fashion. And you always have to think about your hourly wage when you do retail arbitrage, online arbitrage. You don't want to be working for a minimum wage. It looks like you're making a lot of money, but then when you actually put a pencil to the numbers and how much time you spend doing it, a lot of people realize that I've coached in the past, I'm making minimum wage or sometimes a little bit less than that. And so, let's analyze how much time are you spending sourcing and how much time are you spending packing. Okay, some of those things like packing and prepping are kind of the bottleneck of your operation. So that was kind of one of the first things I outsourced was the pack and prep. Had a couple guys started doing that, and then that evolved into a warehouse, and that evolved to a prep center. And then, as far as the sourcing goes, that was to have a bunch of replenishables. It's very easy to outsource that. You say, hey, just go pick up this and that, and you go ahead and swing by clearance or check the sales. And if you find anything really good, then just pick that up as well. So it made that sustainable. And so that kind of just kept rolling up into something bigger and bigger, every month to the point where you couldn't spend as much as you were bringing in, then you knew you were starting to get some traction there. So, but in a little bit of a nutshell, that's kind of what we're doing. And we have warehouses opening up. We have a guest here from Australia. Paul is in the Legends group. He's going to be opening up a warehouse, another PPF location in Australia. And we have a partner warehouse in Toronto and soon to be Vancouver, and looking at the UK. So we're trying to touch all of the international markets and make it very streamlined process to ship your products. And we have ways to basically avoid the costly shipping, especially into Canada. Everyone knows you try to ship products to Canada, very expensive. So we have addresses just across the border, ship products there. We drive across the border, pick it up, drive through the commercial line. You avoid all brokerage fees, which is 75%.
Wow.
Of your ship. So it just, most of the people in Legends too. One thing we got to mention, Amazon Canada. They're great. So it's a great thing it's just amazing how far this has come. I never in a million years thought this is where we'd be sitting. And it's all thanks to, mentors and people I talked to inspired me, like Joy, like Ryan, and many others. John Bullard Jr., Mike Pimco, people you may know from the MMA group. Those are all my mentors. So, and because of them, that's why I'm here. It's a privilege and an honor to be able to even be here. So, and I have a group and people willing to show up to a conference that I'm a part of. That's never take that for granted. So
I'm just sitting here blown.
Yeah.
I'm so blown away. I know that you have all these amazing things that are happening.
Mm-hmm.
But when I sit here and listen to you, I'm hearing a little bit of feedback. You hear that? Let's see.
Very, very slight. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it'll stop. There, it's stopping. It does that every now and then. But I don't know if you caught that about his, I mean, there's not very many groups that I endorse. And let me see if I can see it. I don't know why it's making that feedback. Do you hear that, Danny?
I mean, it was barely. I can barely hear it. Yeah.
Okay, it's hopefully getting better. Those of you who are listening, is there a lot of feedback for you? Okay, there it goes. It's better. Well, look, I was saying that there's not very many groups that I fully endorse. There's a lot of groups that I love, but when I think of Danny, I'm just like, his group is so amazing. I mean, all the way from, I mean, you heard him talk. One thing that I love, and he's going to be, talking about a lot of this stuff at the conference, and he's going to be our retail arbitrage expert, actually. And those of you who know retail, I mean, he's an expert in a lot of things, and he'll touch on different things, and you'll be able to talk to him during networking hour and all that kind of stuff. But one thing that I really loved about his method was a method that I never even thought about until, I started watching him, and he does this reverse sourcing thing that I'll let him talk about at the conference. But, if you heard him say also about the Canada thing, that blows me away, because a lot of people are, I always teach this, and that is go where people aren't. And there's people who are not in the UK. There's people who are not in Canada, because it's complicated. But when you're in Danny's group, he takes these things and he breaks them into bite-sized pieces that helps you understand. And I've watched Danny over the last few years just go from, he has more VAs than I do now. I mean, he's got a prep center. We just, our company just joined his prep center. It's incredible the way he has it set up. It's so nice because, he's got the videos to explain. I mean, he's got arrows showing you all the complicated stuff. If you ever need a question answer, he's there. He's in his groups. He's, doing webinars. He's doing walkthroughs. He's in Home Depot. He's in Walmart. He's in Dollar Tree. He's showing you, he's not just talking about it. He's showing you, he lives and breathes what he does. And that's what I love about him and his program, his group. I mean, he even has, like all the private label stuff. I mean, if you think about it, at our conference, we're talking about all of these different models, and I'm listening to him, he's launching his print on demand, probably at his event here. By the way, I know it's within 2 days, but you never know. There might be some people near the Nashville area. Is it still open for enrollment for your event? Is it closed?
Well, we are full. Packed, huh? We're almost over capacity. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, he's closed, but he does have his Amazon Legends event in Nashville with over 130 people there. If I could sneak away, I wish I could be there. I had my tickets booked, but anyway, he has events. He has, groups. He's got webinars. He's got examples. He's got all kinds of. Do you still have people that help with China? Like, do you have the agent over there?
Or Grace in Singapore. Yeah, and she has agents in China. So we got all that.
Okay, so he has, people that can help you in China. That's huge, guys. Many of you guys ask me, do you have anybody that I can recommend? Well, all in Danny's group, it's like he has everything. And every time I hear him talking, launching his print on demand, and his group is awesome. Is your group open for enrollment? I didn't even ask you that before we got on this call.
We have a handful of spots. It opened in the beginning of April. So it opens every 3 months. Yeah. AmazonLegends.com.
Is there any kind of promo code at all?
It's AMZLegends.com. Yeah.
Okay. AMZLegends.com, guys. You should go and check this out, because he has amazing, like he even has like a WhatsApp group that kind of, he has people that are monitoring that, where they're showing, have online deals, they have retail deals, they've got wholesale deals, exclusive. You can spend pretty much all your time just in this group alone. That's why I love it. And when I asked Danny to speak, I was like, okay, I hope it's one of those things where you're just like, oh, I hope he says yes, but I know he's so busy, and he's coming, guys. And this is the caliber of people that are going to be here at this event.
We have a great speaking. Yeah. Group.
I'm just so proud of you. I'm just listening to you, and I'm in awe, and if you guys, let me see if that came out right with your, there it is. Okay. I typed it. I've been typing out your stuff as you talk, and you guys can see the things that Danny's involved in. And if you're lucky enough to get into his group, because he keeps it kind of capped. So every now and then spots open up and people come in, but the amount that he charges, I mean, you could go there and look and see, but the stuff that he offers is just unbelievable. I mean, other people, are charging, and he has it all right there. And if I had to recommend one group, like if someone said to me, what's one group that you would say? I know there's several, and there are several that I recommend, but I'm saying if I had to honestly right this moment, and not just because Danny's on here, because Danny, I've been talking about you all week. You can go back and listen to the other interviews, but his group is one that I would highly recommend, mostly because not just because of the things that are in there, but because of who Danny is as a person. As you can see, I mean, he's just, I say this about all the speakers because it's so true. They all have hearts of gold, willing to help you. They give so much value. It's unbelievable. I'm just like, I cannot wait to be at my own conference and sit in the back and take notes and listen to what all these speakers have to say, what Danny has to say. And so, Danny, we're like I say, his conference is this weekend in Nashville, and he's going to, fly over to Houston and be with us next week. So those of you who have not signed up for the conference, the link is there. If you, Danny, I put everybody on the spot. You don't have to do anything. I didn't know if you had any kind of promo code. I know that your link is not up here, but we do have a sign up sheet at the conference. Like if you signed up under Danny's link, we'll know, so that we know that this was from Danny's interview. If you don't have anything, it's okay. I don't know if you had like an ebook or maybe something that if people signed up under the link to come to the event to hear you speak. Oh no, we lost him. Oh, there he is. There you go.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it kind of glitched there for a second.
Yeah.
So an ebook we can
or anything like
what I was planning on doing. We have a new software that launches Legendary Seller, and we can give people free access to that if they would like.
Legendary Seller. What is that?
Well, it's another Amazon Legends perk. So it basically it's a one-stop shop for all Amazon tools. Eventually, it'll include pretty much everything. Right now, it has keyword tools in it. It has feedback generation. It has listing creator. It has a really cool tool called keyword capture, where you can get the exact back-end keywords of a competitor's listing. It's 100% accurate. Yeah. So we found an exploit.
You put that in your group, or is that like a separate thing that people have to get?
No, that's free within Legends. Yeah. So free. If you just want, so if
did you guys do that? Oh my gosh.
That's why we usually don't give discounts to Legends, because we just, in a way, we just show our appreciation. We reinvest most of the money back into it to create new software or bring new tools in or new courses. Like Mike Wall is a multi-million-dollar merch seller who has his course in the group for free, and the couponing groups in Legends. We got, of course, the Millionaire Seller. And then there's about 25 perks. There's a free extension. There's a free Legends app. There's a sourcing agent.
Unbelievable value, guys. And if you want to, Danny, later on after the event and everything, I can throw in an outsourcing module to throw in there.
Plenty of freebies. Yeah.
So, free to your members, and
bring something to the conference for sure.
Yeah, I'm just so proud of you. As you guys can tell, he went from, you heard his story. Those of you who are coming on late, go back and listen. It's so inspiring. One of the things that I love, and most people that come on here, they think that these are people that, I don't know if I want to go and talk to this person because, they're this way or that way. Mm-hmm. These people are so real and so approachable that I'm just so proud to have these people represent, my first conference, basically. I don't know if I'll do another. I've been asked to do another, but, for now we'll stick with this one and we'll see how it does and everything like that. Cause it's, as you know, Danny, it's a lot of work. And, but I'm so proud of the people that have come together, willing to give of their value, and the people that it attracts, because yes, the speakers are awesome on stage, but it's also the people that you're going to be around. And we're going to have 2 evenings of networking. We encourage you to get the VIP. There's only one more slot in the platinum level, but if you can't do the VIPs, we understand, but there's still networking at night. from 7 to 10 p.m. every night. We'll have myself and I'm giving my all. As you can tell, I'm exhausted. I mean, I've been doing interviews for the last 10 days.
Yes,
and we finally finished. And we, we're ending with this awesome, Danny was the last speaker that I have invited. I've had other speakers want to come on board, and I wish I could find room for them, but we are not going to extend into Sunday, and we can't start any earlier. I might even have to start 30 minutes early to fit it all in, but I don't know of very many conferences that pack these many speakers. We have so many good speakers, so much that they offer. And, this is my last interview that I'm going to tell you that you better buy your tickets. Our room is just about full. We cannot, we can't add any more chairs. You're not going to have you hanging on the walls or anything. You'll have to do the recording. And, yes, the recording has awesome value, but it's not the same, is it, Danny, when you go to an event?
No, we got networking is an awesome thing. So you can come there and experience the person, that interaction. So the networking part is invaluable.
Yeah, as I was going to say, before we let everybody go, can you give us about a 30-second to 1 minute thing about your take on events? Why are events important? I mean, how many, you go to events, you have your own events. Why are they important?
Well, I can speak from experience and watching other people come to my events. The networking part is probably by far one of the most valuable parts, that the interacting with people on a one-on-one basis. Connecting with people. I met three of my business partners in one business through networking, and because of them, I learned. Wow, I can't tell you how much I learned from them. They're in a much higher level for me than I was at the time, and to be able to partner with those people is because I networked at events and through Facebook, and so it's just that. I don't know, it's just those intangible benefits when you go to a conference that they're hard to describe, but you build those connections, those friendships that last forever. And it does revitalize you when you're there surrounded by other like-minded people. It gives you that motivation that just revitalize your body, your mind, your soul, and you just go out there and you could conquer the world again. And you'd be surprised how much you get done when you go home from a conference if you just go back with the right focus. So it does so many things on so many levels. And but I gotta say, the networking and the friendships built, those are really the most valuable thing to me. And what I've seen, lots of mastermind groups have been built out of just Legends conferences. So
absolutely,
and they are doing private label, all kinds of stuff that they never thought they would ever do. So, and that's because they met each other in person.
Absolutely. And, yes, you guys can meet through Facebook. You can, listen to webinars, sit behind your computer. But just like Danny said, there's something about being there. I'm glad that he said it that way, because it's true. It's just the camaraderie. It's like there's energy in the room because you guys are all there, all trying to do the same thing. And you have other people who are like-minded. There's a special energy in the room, and it's like no other. It's almost like some people ask me, when I would run races, and, when I was running, and my kids would say, "Mom, why do you go and run a 5K race when you can just go outside and go run around the neighborhood for 3 miles?" And, it's the very same thing. It's the very same concept. And that is the music, that 15,000 people who are running here for cancer or whatever every running event has usually a cause. And so you get this feeling, about being around like-minded individuals. And so that's what it is. At your conference this weekend, it's going to be so powerful. We are so excited about Houston next week. We're so excited you're coming, Danny. We want to thank you so much. We know you're so busy. You took the time out to be on this interview and share your values. Guys, those of you who have been on live all this time, thank you for taking time out of your busy evening. And those who are coming on, for the recording, you're in for a treat. This has been, the close of all of our 21 speaker interviews. Thank you again, Danny. We hope to see you guys in all next weekend. So, all right, take care. Bye, everybody. Thanks, Danny.
See you soon.